Hey folks, thanks for joining me. We're going to go over the process or the update on the long stay visa. I just got my long stay visa 2 days ago. Yay. So I wanted to share some things with you. So hopefully it can make the process a little bit more understandable, but I need you to bear with me. So I have some questions from my group who are on my email list. So I'm going to answer their questions first. And if you have questions and you're joining me live, if you can just go ahead and put the questions in there and I'll see them and we'll do it on a first come, first serve basis. So couple quick things. These documents, you can't see them, but yeah, these are the documents I was giving at the consulate. I did this in the United States in Washington, D.C. And I know one of the commenters told me if you have to go to the San Francisco office, they just kind of shut things down right now, but we're in a pandemic, so we got to kind of move around in the best way possible. So what they gave me was a receipt that I paid for the visa. And then they gave me this letter that talks about that I have to take a COVID test to get into the country. So apparently there's a certain type of COVID test you have to take. I don't know what that is, but the woman told me that the woman who worked at the embassy said that she went to a particular place and she was kind enough to give the address. Hey, Andrea, thanks for coming through. She was nice enough to give the address. So if you are in the Washington, D.C. area and you need a COVID test to go to Portugal, they have a relatively quick test. I think they said within 24 hours, they'll email it to you. So the name of the company is Care Life Medical. It's in Fairfax, Virginia. And apparently they provide the type of COVID test necessary to go to Portugal. They also gave me the automatic appointment. Hey, I'm sorry. So this is the part I don't all the way understand. And you're going to go through this process with me, but they already gave me an appointment for the CEF office. Okay. So my appointment is in mid-November in Portugal with the CEF office. I don't know what happens at said office, and I don't know what documentation I need to bring because that's all I got. It just tells me to show up and it gives me an address. So I don't really know what happens there, but I will definitely keep you updated as to what goes on in that particular meeting. As far as the visa itself, when I had to research, hey y'all, thanks for coming through. When I was researching how many times you can come in and out of Portugal once you get your residency visa, it was a little ambiguous. So I heard that you are allowed to come into the United States, come out of Portugal twice in 1 year because we have to renew your residency visa, right? So on the visa, and if you're over 40, you gotta look at small writing like this. So on the visa, it says my duration of stay is 120 days. That is 4 months. So within a 4-month period, you have to go to the CEF office to get your residency card. So your residency visa and your residency your residency card are two different things. So if you go there with your residency visa and you don't go to that appointment, this is going to expire in 4 months. Okay. Y'all follow me on that? And then on this one, it says I don't have amount of entries is 2. So I can only come out of Portugal twice. Now, I was told by just reading random stuff that was within a year, but this sounds like within 4 months. So I don't really know how that is. And I know some of you all asked that. We still winging it because we still in these early stages, right? So let me handle the questions. Yes, 46. Let me handle the questions that the people on my email list ask, and then we'll go into the comments here and I'll answer your questions. I'll stay here as long as you need. Just understand that some of the stuff I'm not going to know because I moved to Portugal by myself, no kids, no lizards, monchichis, or nothing. It was just me. So I'm not going to have a lot of information for those of you who are like moving with your whole family and your whole gang. I didn't take that route. And if you want to know how to apply inside Portugal, I didn't take that route either. So I'm going to do a live with Jamila. I'm not sure if you remember my friend, Jamila, but her and her husband moved to Portugal and they are applying inside of Portugal. They're able to do that because of COVID, and it's been extremely stressful. And she'll tell you about that experience. We're probably going to do it on September 17th. But I'll keep you posted with that. So let me just go over the really, really quick questions that I've gotten from. So for Christopher, he asked me about, did I move my stuff there? This is what my advice is. Just let your stuff go. You're about to have a whole new life with whole new dimensions and rooms that it's just easy to get European furniture, in my opinion, than trying to pull your furniture from wherever you bringing it from. Like, we're not moving to Jupiter, guys. We're just, moving to Europe. So it was a lot easier for me to just pack a whole bunch of suitcases and much more cost effective. So I did pay the extra fee to pack suitcases with my stuff. So I paid that. But even I feel like I still brought too much, because even when I'm moving from Airbnb or to different apartments, I'm bringing all these clothes with me and it's starting to get annoying. So I need to get my life together at some point. So I would say just let it go. Yeah. So who's this? So Anne asked, oh, thank you, Anne, for your sweet comments. Residency of the sub tourist. Okay, so work-related residency. As far as I know, I don't know that that's a thing. Either you getting a work visa or you getting a residency visa. So I'm not all the way sure what you mean there, love. Are you live with me today, Anne? Because if you are, I will try to answer you if you can be a little bit more specific without the need of a residency visa. So if you're doing retiree or independent residency, again, I didn't do that. I still work. I still make my money from the US. So I showed the amount of money I make per month, and I went as independent status. Let's look real quick. Let me see if I can pull up. Let me screen share real quick. What I want to show you, application window, and we want checklist. Let's share that real quick. Okay, so on the checklist, this is what I showed you guys, that what I used. And if you want a copy of this checklist, we're not going to go over how to do the visa, because I did a video on that. And if you meet me for the first time, please look in the description box. I have a link that goes through that. So this is a checklist, and it goes over retirement, independent business, setting up investments, establish themselves, and work remotely. This is the one that I applied for. I didn't apply for retirement. I didn't apply for independent living. This is the one I applied for. So when I did that, I showed them how much I made from my business from the US working remotely. So I think that's a D7, I think. It's not on my, if it is, I can't read the little baby writing. It just says D on my visa. So that is what I applied for. So when you look on the notes, it says all residency visas are valid for 120 days. That's the 4 months. Once in Portugal, you have to go to the CEF office to apply for your permanent residency card. So again, guys, if you want a detailed about the checklist of this, I have a video. I've already done on it. The link is in the description for you to go over that and to get this checklist. So you just put in your email and it'll go ahead and shoot you the checklist. This is what I use to apply for the visa. So I know some of you have asked about, that's not what I want. So I know some of you have asked about, I just had a brain fart. See, that's what happens when you're doing stuff live. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, you're asking me for an immigration attorney. I don't have one because I didn't use one. But when we talk to Jamila on the 17th, she can share her experience with the immigration attorney that she's using. Yeah, so that was that question. Okay, so if you're a couple, do you need to apply for 2 separate applications? Here's the thing. I don't know, because I didn't apply with anyone, but I'm assuming both of you as grown people have to, because there's a series of background checks and stuff they need to do. So I'm gonna go with, yeah. Let me tell you what I did, guys. Look, I had no idea what I was doing. And the VFS office is in Washington, D.C. That is where I applied. I've gone in that office at least 8 times. And I wish that wasn't true, but I went in there at least 8 times. So the first time I went in there with nothing. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I went in there and I was like, madam, can you just tell me what I need to do to get into this country? And I told her my circumstances, and then she told me what I needed to do. She gave me this check. I probably got 15 billion of these checklists because they gave me one every time I went in there. She gave me what the checklist was, and that is kind of how I went. So to be honest, I really feel like if you can't find it online, just go into the office. Asking your question online is like a moot point. You do your email, you send an email, and they just tell you to make an appointment. If you don't live close to where the appointment offices are, that's probably going to suck. I'm not going to lie. I would say take a couple weeks and find an office that you could go to and kind of like hang out there, because you might have to go there a couple times. I had to, and it was just me. So I would imagine, and we're going to put in the comments for any of you who know the answers, please put them in the comments, because we are family here. We try to help each other, and just let people know if you know for sure. So far as, does your spouse have a separate application? I would assume so, because I feel like they got to do a whole background check on that person. So if your kids, I don't know what to do with the kids in the States. I have no idea what to do with them in Portugal. But I feel like after a certain age, maybe don't listen. Let's go talk to the people at the office, because I really don't know. And I feel like I'm not able to help y'all because I just did this so much differently than you guys. Couple, thank you for the information. Okay, cool. And sorry, if you in the comments, I'm gonna come to you and hopefully, I don't know. Okay, certain about the evening concern. Okay, here's the question from Paula. Are you able to travel back to the US? Okay, Paula. So here's the thing. I feel like I can come back twice, but I feel like that's over the course of a year. On my actual visa, it says I'm allowed 2 entries, but my visa expires in 4 months. So I'm not sure that when I go to get my residency card, that they're going to be like, you can't go in the US no more for a year. I have no idea what happens. But if someone is in or has done their residency interview or whatever, and you have some insight, we would be so gracious if you could share that. So mine, hold on, I think Barbara has some. New York office is just opening appointments only 4 months out from the target date. Ugh. Okay. So I got some news with that, but just for the DC office. Thank you for that, Barbara. So how long? I'm assuming twice in 1 year, but I'm going to confirm that with you once I have my appointment. Is that okay? Can I do that? How are you just now receiving your visa? I am just now receiving my visa. Yes. Long stay. Whoa, Andrea. So Andrea, you applied for your long stay visa in 2019. Okay, something's wrong there, hon. I don't even know. I don't know what state you applied for it or whatever. So let me tell you what happened to me. And if you have to go back to the States, the residency visa is probably not even something that should be on your radar right now, because you're limited as to how many times you can go out and go to the States, because basically you're saying I'm trying to live here. So why you keep leaving? When I first moved, could not commit to that at that moment, because I know I had to still come back and forth for clients. Okay. Now I'm at a different situation, especially with COVID. A lot of people have adapted to not seeing you that often. So for the most part, people are used to it. So now I can commit, to staying. What am I trying to say? Now I can see, this is what happened when it's live. You realize I lose it. Now I can commit to just go ahead and staying the whole entire time with no issues. So if you think that you got to go back to the States, the residency visa may not work for you, because you are limited to the amount of entries you can have, and you can get up in customs and they're like, you can't come in. And that's not what you want, especially if you did all this work to get this visa and get it through and get it approved. And now you're just going to lose it on a technicality. So really kind of think about where your life is, and can you commit to a whole year staying in a country? So test it out, see if you like it or whatever, but really consider it. I personally recommend getting a visa before you go. Like if you still trying to feel like if you like it, you could just, still do the tourist thing. And then before you go ahead and do the application, in my opinion, in the US, if that's where you're coming from, because the process is a little bit quicker and easier. Again, Jamila's going to be on with us live on September 17th, and she's going to tell her experience of trying to get the necessary paperwork while she's in Portugal. Okay, so what do I have for Val? What we got, Val? Okay, so Val is asking about the NIF. Damn, I really feel like I'm not helping y'all on this because I did my NIF almost like soon as I did my NIF like last year. So I went down to the office, but because of COVID, things are being a little different. So that's not really something you could do right now. If anyone is in the comments later, if you've gotten a NIF, I guess within the past couple, well, since COVID, if you have any insight, we would appreciate that. I want to. Okay. So have you spoken to anyone who's gone through the Golden Visa program? I have not. So I really feel like I got like no answers for y'all. I'm so sorry. Val, I have not. I haven't met anyone that went through the Golden Visa program. Additional tax forms. Right. So whatever you have to do with your tax situation, you're going to need an account in the US and in Portugal. So far as your Portuguese accounts, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm pretty behind on that. Because I opened my account in Portugal right as COVID hit. So then everything was shut down and I haven't done anything since. Sorry. So give me a minute, give me about a week and a half on that question and I can give you a little bit more insight on that. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's see who we have. Martha. Okay. So Martha, better chances, education in February, anxious about G7. Do your husband and son have to apply for a short-term visa? I don't think I know what a short-term visa is. Are you talking about like tourist visa? If you're talking about the tourist visa, which is 90 days, you technically as a U.S. citizen, I'm assuming you're a U.S. citizen, you don't have to necessarily apply for anything. You just got to get out in 90 days. I don't know what short-term visa is. Who is this? Martha. Martha, if you're on live, give me a little bit more information on that. Immigration attorney. I don't have an immigration attorney, guys, because I didn't use one. So, but I'll ask Jamila if she's happy with hers. I guess you could use her referral. There we go. Okay, now we have Sandy. I don't know what the short stay visa is. This is the second person asking me about a short stay visa. Is there a visa that we can't get in? Oh, so now I can't read your stuff in. You can travel within Europe. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna come. All right. I'm about to come to your questions. I got like a couple more on my email list. Sometimes, listen, y'all, I'm an introvert. So sometimes I don't want to come on camera, but I'll talk to y'all in my email. So if you want to get on the email list and you don't mind me popping up on your inbox, there's a link to get on the email list in the description box. Click that. Give me your email so we could chat. And so you can get your questions to me first in case I'm not able to get to them. So I think that's it. Daniel asked me, how long did it take for my visa? Okay, so he's right. The office does say 60 days. I turned in my residency visa in mid-July. I was there for a year and I was kind of shucking and jiving on a tourist visa because I had to keep coming back to the States. So once COVID hit, I had to get my life together. And then they weren't letting U.S. citizens in. The only U.S. citizens that are letting in is if you're a resident. Hence the reason why I got my life together and got my residency visa. So I turned my application in Washington, D.C. If you did it in another state, I have no information for you. But I put my application in Washington, D.C. like mid to late July. Initially, I got a email saying that they were not doing COVID. No, that's not what they said. They weren't doing the type of visa I was applying for. They were only doing like a D2, which means you were becoming an entrepreneur and opening a business in Portugal. That would be, and like family reunification and a couple other stuff. So she told me they will hold on to my application until they started processing those visas again. About a week later, she said that my cover letter was confusing. So I was like, oh, I guess y'all processing. So they were processing them after like maybe a week, or she told me they're not. So from mid-July till 2 days ago, I got my visa. And I lived in Washington, D.C. So I'm just kind of used to the whole embassy visa setup in the state that you could just kind of run in a fake state. We're not really a state. You can kind of run and get that happen. So I went to the Portugal embassy to drop off my passport. They put my visa in that moment. I got my visa. I can now go into Portugal with no problem because I'm considered a resident right now. Okay, so it took less than 60 days. I think that's what they tell you, because it could take longer. And even in the middle of a pandemic, I got my visa in less than 60 days. But I'm going to tell you, even in the pandemic, I went to that office 4 times because there was a bunch of mistakes I made, and I was trying to go back and forth and just get this over with. So there we have it. All right, Daniel, that's you. Did I get Sandy? D7. Okay. Tax forms, Americans. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's it. So let's talk. Let's get over here on my comments and see what we got. Hey, y'all. Let's see, where are we? Unfortunately, I'm in San Francisco jurisdiction. Julie, I'm sorry, honey. I hear there's some problems over there. Okay, so let's see. What are we doing? How long do you have to stay? You're qualified to apply for residency. Okay, so how long do you have to stay before you're qualified to apply for residency? I need you to help me with this question a little bit more. So how long do you stay? So there's a difference between citizenship and residency. So I'm unclear if you're speaking of citizenship. If you're talking about the dual citizenship that Portugal offers with the US, what hopefully it still does, it takes 5 years to get citizenship. So how long do you have to stay before you are qualified to apply for residency? So before I moved, I could apply for residency and done the same process I just did. I just didn't apply for residency when I first left because I still had to come back and forth to the US. Secondly, when COVID happened, they stopped allowing tourism. So I had to get my residency visa to be able to, continue my life. So I'm not sure if you're saying residency but means citizenship. So put that in the comments and let me know what you mean. Okay, what else we got? Thank you, Tina. I've heard that's true, except, okay. Yeah, I have to go to the, yep, San Francisco offices. Yeah, sorry. Okay, all right. Questions. I'm interested in retiring in Portugal in 10 years. How are the housing prices? If you retiring in 10 years, they could be all over the place by that time. Can you recommend a real estate site where I can follow prices and availability? Just go to Remax Portugal, remax.pt.portugal. Understand, guys, we're in a pandemic and we're about to go through a global recession. So prices are going to be different. If you talking about moving in 10 years, the price is going to be different from where they are now. But yeah, Remax and Century 21, all of I'm not sure if you're a US citizen, but if you are, most of the same real estate companies that we have in the States, they have it in Portugal. And their website, I think it's just like remax.pt, I think. But let me check on that, Andrea. Let me do a little bit more research on that. Okay. You guys are funny. I feel like I'm not able to help a lot of you guys because my situation was just me by myself, no kids, no cat, no nothing. Okay, Andrea, Rich Journey is a family. Yes, we have met virtually. I am aware of them. And they are awesome, adorable family. I haven't met them in person yet, though. Girl, so I had to go back to the US to update my visa each time. Really, T? Whew. I hope that's not my life. T, let's talk. Like, can I bring you on? T, come in the comments and let me know if I can bring you on camera well, you might not be ready to come on camera. You want to come on camera and talk to the people, or if we can schedule that another time so you can share your experience. Did they require vaccination? They did not, actually. Let me show. So Jim asked, did they require any vaccination or history info to get your visa? If so, which vaccination were you required? They did not. That's a really interesting question. And yeah, they didn't. Other than me having to take a COVID test when I go, yeah, they didn't ask for that, but I could see that being important. Let's see. Haven't recommended any real estate agents. I'm hoping to follow a couple of them. Thanks for the suggestion. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mitch Monk. We appreciate you. Where other office met at? Okay, so I think you guys don't have any questions because what? Because I probably ain't doing a really good job answering them, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. New York office is just opening. Okay, good. That's good. Usually if a child is under a certain age. I agree, Andrea. If you're under a certain age and you have a child, usually there's a certain age. Guys, just go in the office and ask the people, please. Because I'm a person that researches, and it just wasn't enough researching in the world. I had to go to the people and be like, tell me what you need me to give you, because I got to get out of here. Okay, guys. So I feel like I'm in DC. Did you start with the consulate to get your visa? Okay, so did you start with the consulate and get the visa? I just decided and have friends in Lisbon also can go into Austria because I might need to go there next summer. I don't know if I understand your question. Did you start with the consulate and get the visa? No, when I first moved over to Portugal a year ago, I did not get a residency visa. I was, again, shucking and jiving and going back and forth because, again, I have a business in the U.S. So I would kind of go back and forth. And I knew because of the limitations of me having to go to America, I couldn't apply for the residency visa at the time. COVID hit and they weren't letting people in. So I had to get that. Plus, I think with COVID, people are kind of used more to remote working if they weren't before. So there's that. Austria, I haven't been, but I hear that it is gorgeous. Missed. Okay. Visa is where you get your visa. Yes. Nino, hey girl. There is no short stay visa. That's what I thought. So when you guys are asking about a short stay visa, I don't really. Okay, they talking about the tourist visa. So tourist visa, you don't have to apply for anything. They stamp your passport with the date, letting everybody know when you came in there. So yeah, there. Yes, I have heard. Oh, so some people have heard of a short stay. Listen, I don't know. On everything that I saw, I haven't seen a short stay, and so I don't know what that means. So I got nothing. Let's see what you got. I'm thinking residency because I could draw from Social Security. Okay. So about the international taxes, you want to get a tax professional who is in the country you are moving in, and in addition to if you were still making your money in whatever citizenship that you were part of. So I'm still a U.S. citizen. I make my money in the U.S. So I have to pay U.S. taxes on the income that I earn. So no one can kind of give blanket tax advice because as taxes are complicated in the States, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you're 1099 versus if you're, a C Corp, LLC, S Corp, all of that is just different. So your circumstances are going to be different. So you have to give a different level of expertise in your taxes. So I have a business, so I need people that can kind of pull that off. I have not started a business in Portugal yet. So when that happens, I'll probably look for that type of accountant. But because I'm not making any income in Portugal, then my situation on Portugal side is a little bit more basic than it is on the US side. So if I find someone that I like, I'll let you guys know. But right now, I'm still kind of figuring out how I need to be responsible in Portugal. Okay. Brooklyn, okay. What kind of business do you have in the US? I have a digital marketing company. I day trade, and I have an e-commerce store. Just got a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking now I need residency first. Okay. So guys, I hope you are getting some value out of this because Jesus, I feel like I'm not able to answer a lot of your questions, but all I can say is I'm telling you what I am personally experiencing, and hopefully you can maneuver and figure out what you can do based on what I'm doing. Shut the gates. What? Has shut the gates because I don't know what gates you're talking about because of COVID. If you're a resident, you can currently get into Portugal. Collect everything on the checklist. What do I do once I collect everything on the checklist? You submit your application, honey. go in, submit your application. That's what the checklist is for. So put it together, go submit it. I don't know what state, country you're in, but yeah, you just submit your application. They'll look over it really quickly to make sure that you have all the pieces. If you stay longer than 6 months, you'll pay Portuguese taxes. Accountant. And, oh, thank you. She got some recommendations on accountant. Hopefully they're good and nice and that type of thing. Thanks you, Nino. Honey, some of this stuff, y'all Google this. Like, I love y'all, but just Google some stuff. Like, you're doing it. Okay. Did you consider any other countries besides Portugal? Let's see. Spent time in Europe. Maybe. Okay, so did I consider any other countries besides Portugal? Are you considering going anywhere else now that you have spent time in Europe? Right, Scandinavia got me. Definitely wanted to look at that. So I think I like Portugal right now, and I want to be able to travel to just other countries in general. And I feel like Europe is a good in between to kind of, when I want to do some more African countries, and if I want to do some other European countries, and all that stuff, it's a good kind of middle ground. So I don't know, guys. I'm still trying to get my life legal in Portugal before I think about going anywhere else right now. But I do want to at least be in a country in which dual citizenship is a possibility. Because listen, America is showing. Look, countries are showing they are not messing with America, and you see that with COVID. Like to we think our passport is so powerful, but none of the countries are letting us in. So I want to be somewhere where at some point dual citizenship is important to me. So if it's a country that kind of allows that, then that's what I'm looking for. Where do I take all this stuff once it's okay? All right. Okay. Let me see. Where are your top 3 neighborhoods in Porto and Lisbon you would recommend? Hey, what about Orange? Yeah, but I took it off my bag. Do not come to DC now while Orange is in the house. Hey, listen, I get it. I get it. Okay. What are your top 3 neighborhoods in Porto? Honey, I haven't been to Porto yet. There was a lot of parts of Portugal I planned on exploring during the summer, but because of COVID, we didn't. In Lisbon, I really like Estefania. I like Australia. I don't think I said that right. See, now I'm getting paranoid because y'all know I'm real insecure about my Portuguese. So I'm gonna start naming stuff and saying it wrong, and then people are gonna be in my comments. I don't want to be trapped in the US. I get it. Do I miss America? I miss my friends. I miss there's definitely some things that I miss. But I think, I left because I wanted to experience more. I wanted to do different things, meet different people, meet different cultures, and just really live life because, for those of you who've heard my story, a lot of people I cared about passed away, and life is short, and I just want to make an effort. And with COVID, we're really seeing that life is short, and I'm happy with Portugal so far. I don't feel like I'm going anywhere right now, but I might change my mind. Do you need to have coming to make it in Lisbon? What sort of income do you need to have coming to make it in Lisbon? Can you be more specific? Are you asking the exact amount that you would need for the visa? Because if you are, I am not sure. So if you're doing the remote work like I did, I just showed them how much I make per month for my contracts. And I know it was substantial enough that, they said, okay, but I don't know what the exact number is because no one has told me that. Dual citizenship in Portugal, allowed in Portugal. Yep, it is, which is kind of one of the reasons why I came to Portugal, because I need that dual citizenship. Have you been to other cities? I haven't really done much exploring of Portugal, guys, because of COVID. So hopefully next year we'll have things. Let's see. Have I made more friends Have you made friends in Lisbon, Portuguese friends? Has it been difficult to meet Portuguese friends or easier with expats? I haven't made as many Portuguese friends as I would like. So if someone wants to be my friend, no. part of it is just my insecurity. I don't really know where people go to, like, if you move to a different state, like, where do people go to meet people and not come off weird and creepy? So if people can tell me where I'm supposed to go to meet people, then I would be open to it. Expats is usually easier because if you're coming from the States, everything we do is online. So you can literally Google expats in a meeting group in Portugal and find them just because everything's online. In Portugal, I feel like the online thing is not that that thing. Like, you could send people emails, they ain't about to read it. Like, no one has read my email ever. So it's just a different vibe, and I haven't figured out, like, how do you socialize when you move somewhere new, and I'm still working on that. So most of my friends are expats, but I would love to meet some more locals. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you. Okay. Yes, I do. Let's see. Oh, you'll be my friend. Thank you. Okay, so someone is asking me about trading. So let me just knock this question out of the box right now, because I get this question a lot. I trade options exclusively on the indices, particularly the S&P. And how long time do you spend day trading? Are you asking me how long I've been trading? I've been trading for about 13 years. Are you asking how many hours I spend per day? It depends on what position I'm trying to get into. So there's certain levels that I look for. I know everybody's been wanting me to spend time talking about trading, but I'm going to be perfectly transparent with audience and honest with you guys. There's a lot of stuff out here of people just trying to say that trading is easy. It is not. And for people who are new, I don't recommend you get into the market right now, because we're about to go through a global recession. The market's going to be really volatile. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose money, period. Just think about any skill that you ever learned to do that's a professional skill. You weren't good at it when you first started. So when you're not good at trading, you lose your money. And in a recession and everything else, like, I can't encourage people, newbies, to get into the market right now. Like, I've been trading for a decade plus. So it is what it is for me, but people want me to teach it, and I'm not putting y'all in the market right now. I'm sorry, I can't. And in good faith, I just can't do that. So that's that. LX Factory, yes, let's meet up. Great offer to teach Portuguese still stands. Please, Carlos, teach me Portuguese. I hope you're not playing with me. Did you keep a U.S. address? I do have a U.S. address. It's my best friend's house. So she is my U.S. address back in DC, where she lives in Maryland. How did I find my apartment? I have a video on that. Please check the channel. That is I put the websites and everything I use to find an apartment. Hello, that U.S. passport, honey. Listen. Right. Fan of your content. Have you considered Portuguese language school? So I was supposed to go to the Portuguese language school. Bitcoin. I don't mess with Bitcoin, guys. I've been trading. No disrespect to anyone trading Bitcoin. Bitcoin just I never got caught on that fad. I like stuff that's been trading for decades. I'm not really into the new stuff. And I know there's a lot of trend of Bitcoin. I'm just not that chick. So I don't mess with it. So have I considered the Portuguese language school? So there is a school I plan on going to. Then COVID hit, and so they did everything online. And I can't learn like that. Like, I'm not a good online learner person thing. So if I was a kid and I had to do online learning right now, just throw my whole education in the trash, because I would just not learn anything. So yeah, I'm hoping when things get normal, I can go to the language school and be able to talk. Identity check envelope or not, the apostle. Okay, so let's talk. Hey there, Judith. I heard two different advice on the subject. Do you open the identity? No, do not open that damn envelope. Okay. Apostle translation says open it and send it to them. Okay, so here's the thing about the FBI. If you're a U.S. citizen and you need to get this. So the woman at the office told me this, and I'm so glad she did. So if y'all haven't heard my story on how I messed up this FBI paperwork. So the first time, I think I ordered this like 3 times because I'm an idiot. I just messed it up. So you only have to get it apostilled, if I'm saying that correctly, if you open the envelope. If you do not open the envelope from the FBI, you are good. So what she told me was, when she looked me dead in my face and she said, do not open this. Do not open it when it comes. And so it came, and I got caught up looking at other mail, and I saw it say FBI, and I was like, what the FBI want with me? And I opened the envelope like a jerk. So then I tried to get it apostille, and that process was just a nightmare. So what I experienced, me personally, I don't know what someone else did. If you open the envelope that comes from the FBI, you will have to get it the apostille. If you do not open it and it is sealed, then you don't need it. And it is substantially more easier to not open that envelope than running around trying to get that apostille. So hope that is helpful, Judith. Okay. Talk about the next steps after gathering the information on a checklist. So go to the office and give it to them. Like, once you go into the office and give them your information, they're going to tell you if you have everything, because they're not even going to submit it if the checklist is not completed. So they're going to take it, and then you file all your checks. If you don't know all of this, go watch my video in its entirety about the whole visa application process. So you're going to have to pay them, and then it goes to the embassy. If you're in DC, guys, this is how I did it in DC. So it's going to go to the embassy, and then the VSF Global, they ain't really going to give you much information after that. So from that point on, you're going to communicate specifically with the person in the Portugal embassy. So for me personally, I had my cover letter apparently was questionable, meaning that I can't even remember what it used to say, because I edited to make it be right. But it was basically saying that I wanted to move there. I liked the country. I think it was beautiful. And I wanted to stay there. I wanted a residency visa. And so that's not what it said at first. I put all this extra stuff that they didn't care about. I don't know why I did that, because whatever. So then there's that. And then you really just sit and wait. And it is kind of scary, because you can get rejected. You know what I mean? Like, not all visas are accepted. So luckily mine got accepted. So after that, she sent me an email saying that I was approved, and she asked me to mail my passport. And the way my life is set up and my luck is set up, that didn't sit well with me. I was nervous about mailing my passport. So I asked if I could come drop it off. And she said yes. So I dropped my passport off at the Portugal embassy in DC. Okay. I gave them my passport, and then she put my visa in there. I think I was there for maybe 30, 40 minutes. She put my visa in there, and I'm done. So now I can go back to Portugal, and life can be a little bit easy. And I know somebody in the comments said that they go back to the States every time they have to re-up. And that might be because I'm I might be my thing. You can mail everything. If you feel comfortable, where do you live, hon? Is there an office close to you? Oh, are you coming for me? Listen, so sorry. Hold on. Let me get my life together. I forgot this is live. Okay. Courtney, is there racial device in lesbian communities? So far, I know I get that question a lot about, are there any racial issues in Lisbon? I haven't experienced it personally, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. Like, you can have racism everywhere. But if you're coming from the United States, and the racism we deal with there, I get respected more when I leave the United States than I have ever. So yeah, that's kind of what that is. But I haven't had any issues, but it doesn't mean that if somebody does have an issue that, that is not possible. So I can only tell you what my personal experience is. And so far, I'm far treated better in Portugal than in the States. Do you think you will relocate to the US in the next 5 years? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not. I felt like I was not going to retire in the United States. I didn't think I would leave the United States so early. So I'm not coming back. Okay, honey, if you're in Atlanta, can you go? Is there an embassy in Atlanta? Just go drop it off at the embassy. If you want to mail it, by all means, mail it. But I just don't feel comfortable mailing stuff. So I drop it off directly at the office. Babbel. I tried Babbel. Now I just feel like I'm talking like I had Tourette's because I'm just randomly reading comments, guys. I'm sorry. Would it be helpful if I read the questions out loud? Yeah, I'm not coming. So the healthcare system is a good question. So give me a minute on that to give you better information. I'm just now researching health insurance versus, private insurance and how that whole thing works. I did purchase travel insurance just because I needed that for my visa, but I don't plan on using that insurance. I'm going to use something private in Portugal, and I haven't researched that all the way out yet. So I'm still doing that. So just give me a minute and I'll keep you updated on that. Okay, guys. So I think that's all of the questions that I could see that are running real quick. Thanks for coming to join me. I had a good time. Next time I need you guys to jump on here with me so we can talk and converse because it is so lonely and I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I do that often. So, all right. Are we good? No more questions? Yeah, I hear that too. Okay. If we get the D, do I apply for residency upon 5 months later? What's the process, children? Okay, Judith, let's talk to you. Okay. If we get the D3, which I'm not sure what that is, do I apply for residency upon arrival or a few months later? Okay. So if it's anything like the process I went through, okay, so they gave me this letter. You're not going to be able to see it. I probably should have uploaded it, but I didn't think about that. They gave me, when they approved my visa, when they took my passport and stuck the visa in, they gave me these papers. And the paper is a receipt that I paid for it. It is telling me I got to get a COVID test. And there's this small paper. This is literally all it says. And it says you have an appointment with Seth. The appointment details are this branch, this address, and this date and time. And that is it. I don't know what I have to bring. I don't know what I have to do. I don't know if they're going to send me an email or anything after that. So what is on my, so maybe 2 months after my visa is issued, they automatically set an appointment for me at the CEF office. Now with COVID, I'm not even sure if the CEF office is going to be open or how that's going to work. Now on my visa, okay, this expires in 4 months. So you're going to apply some months later if it's like the process I went through. So I hope that's helpful. What is the process with children? Honey, I have no idea. I don't know nothing about what you do with kids because I don't have any. So I got nothing on that one. And I'm sorry. If you have spouses, kids, pets, goats, anything, I got nothing. I would imagine, and what I encourage you to do is reach out to the office and just go in there for one appointment and just expect to just write notes and have them tell you everything that you would need based on your personal circumstances. But based on mine, I just had to do, my application for me. Oh my God, I was totally supposed to, and you sent me an email and told me, hey, boo, I'm so glad you were able to hit come live. Okay, I don't know anything about wheelchair accessibility, but hiring a personal assistant, I'd imagine that would be relatively easy. And if anyone is watching who can tell us if there's particular websites that are used to get jobs within Portugal, because I haven't seemed to find that. And if there isn't one, somebody need to create it. To hire people for various jobs that are local. If somebody knows that, please put it in the comments below and tell us. As far as wheelchair accessibility, I would say contact the Portuguese tourism board thing. Give me a minute. I have a link for that because it just tells you everything in regards to what you need. If you're a U.S. citizen and you have like a medical emergency, if like all of this stuff in case, something happens or if you need something. So they're really, really good with that. And I feel like that might be the best starting point. And then they could probably push you in the right direction. So I don't have any experience or knowledge on that personally. So I would recommend reaching out to the tourism board. And also they're probably fluent in English if you don't speak Portuguese to help you out with that. So I hope that is helpful. Yes. Okay. So there is another family. It is, oh my God, I just had a Ahmad and his wife, they have kids and they have a family and they are from the United States and they moved to Portugal. Probably reaching out to them will be much more beneficial to me because I have like nothing. I am lonely and I just know what I did. Okay. Oh, thank you, Calvin. I appreciate you. But yeah, Our Rich Journey. Thank you, honey. That's the name of their channel. So if you have kids and they will tell you the whole thing because they did it, with themselves. They were married and they have children and all that great stuff. Yes, thank you, Our Rich Journey. That is who they are. Please reach out to them. They seem like such a sweet couple, and they can give you more insight than I can because, unfortunately. All right, I think. Yes, golden visa, get it. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna end that. I know this isn't edited, so okay. Any word on Portugal opening their borders just for 90 days? I don't know about that. As far as I know, tourists aren't allowed. So if you're gonna go, you're gonna need a residency visa. All right, I'm out, guys. It was a blast. I hope you learned something. I'm not sure how much I was able to give from my very limited circumstances, but hopefully, and we're going to do this again. Jamila and I will be on live on the 17th. So join us. She's going to talk to you about her process, good, bad, and indifferent. And hopefully for those of you who want to do it inside the country, the only thing I'm going to say really quickly on that is that if you are on the 90-day visa and you were trying in the middle of your visa, and if you might even get rejected or need more documentation or whatever, because I needed to find more documentation, just be careful on how long you're in the country and, the paperwork you need to have in there. So I love you guys. I hope everyone's having a good time. I know you could spend time anywhere and you did it with me and I appreciate you. So yeah, till next time, guys.